Yeah, but that's not a Hebrew word though.
It is
All right.
O-P-H-I-R.
All right, he came up and asked me questions. We had to get
It is.
started.
It says,
Hey, get to Jeremiah 50. That's your. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
it's Jeremiah 50. I want to stay in the ark. Let's stay in the ark of the covenant. This is Jeremiah 50:33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go.
There you go, man. So all the 12 tribes over here in America. Manasseh and Ephraim wasn't the main tribes on the slave ship. All right? We all got put on slave ships. That's the curse to all Israel. Deuteronomy 28:68. Bible shop.
Deuteronomy 28:68. It says, the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies to bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
So all of us got put on slave ships. You read about Pocahontas, or you watch the movie, I should say, they don't read the actual account of what happened. They were taking the northern kingdom, so-called northern kingdom, and shipping them to the other side of the world. All right? Now look, this you said that the main people on the slave ships and that's Ephraim. Let's get Second Ezra 13.
Ephraim was broken down in...
Okay. This Second Ezra 13.
Or no, that's actually Joseph. Joseph was broken down.
Ephraim and Manasseh. That's the same thing, right? That's Joseph. You got, at least you got that one right.
Oh, I got O-P-H-I-R right here.
Yeah, Oprah, America is Oprah.
Google it.
America is Oprah. I already told you America's Oprah. I'm agreeing with you. Go ahead.
Verse 40, man.
These 10 tribes.
Yeah, this second is 13:40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Shalmaneser the king of Assyria led away captive.
So this is history right here. You said you don't have no scriptures, but you got facts, which actually goes against the facts of scriptures. Isaiah 20 says to the Lord to the testimony. They seek not to point to this verse because there's no light in them. All right? Okay. So right here in the Bible, what it said was these 10 tribes got taken into captivity. The 10 tribes is talking about the northern kingdom. All right? Ephraim, right, starting Ephraim. Ephraim is the head of the 10 tribes. Go ahead. So let's see what happened with them after that Assyrian captivity.
God, whom Shalmaneser the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
Read that over, buddy.
God, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Shalmaneser the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. Hosea also says that man cares for a lack of knowledge of truth. And so
Oh, yeah, I can go back.
Because you don't have the adequate knowledge. Let's go ahead. I'm going to use the same scripture to refer.
No, it's a little more than that. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 41. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Right. So you got it. Go ahead.
Where was that at? Where was the country where mankind never dwelt in? Where was that place?
Read it again. Yeah, read it. Start at 40 over.
Okay, John, I'm going to read. No, just that part.
Okay. Read 40 over.
Okay, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Shalmaneser the king of Assyria led away captives, and carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. What's that? What place is that? Okay, so let's stop right there. So what y'all trying to say? Mankind never dwelt in America?
Correct. Mankind never dwelt here.
Stop. Now I'm about to
go
deal
ahead.
with that.
Make sure you get him on camera too.
Yeah.
I
just want to deal
he out
with
here
that.
preaching.
I want to deal with that.
We ain't dealing with facts, brother.
I'm going to hit you with that.
The scriptures. So you said the scripture's not facts?
Okay.
You lost already then.
Not all. Okay. You think you know everything, right?
You
should know all things. You think you know everything?
Yes, in the spirit,
Okay.
we do know everything. We know everything.
Right. Have you ever read the subscript?
Yeah. Do we need to write the 820 over?
Yeah, we already read that. Right. Okay, the subscript. So if you think you know it, whatever you guys are quoting from is not the Torah. That's one. The books of Moses. Two, which is the Ark of the Covenant. That's one.
Actually, he's not. Yahweh Shai.
Right, the Ark of the Covenant. So that's one. Two, whatever you read it from was interpreted by somebody who was not there. So they gave you their manipulation of the scripture. So what you read is right. It's only by whoever wrote that script. That's not factual information because whoever wrote the script was not there. The same book that you quoted me from has subjugated your people for hundreds of years and have told you that this was the will of God.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Christianity don't teach the Bible though. So they didn't teach us this. See, now the prophets are awakened. Now we teach the Bible. All right. We got something. That's the spirit. All scripture, bro. That's the spirit. Go ahead.
All scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High and is profitable for doctrine, for the truth, for correction, for instruction, and righteousness.
There you go. All scripture.
Was this the New Amplified New
This
Jerusalem?
is the King James version. You know, English. Which King James is a black man. You don't know history. See, King James is a black man.
But he was also a pirate.
What? How's he a king of the pirate? You telling me the king? So you telling me the king hopped on the motherfucking ship? I never heard that. When the robbers still get booty and loot. Come on, man. King James was the king of Scotland, bro.
You brought all five lands together. Go through your history.
Right.
I just know that. You don't know your history. Your whole point was to come out and try to teach us. You can't teach us. Because you know what? If you was a prophet of the Lord, you'd been out here teaching your people who the fuck they was. Right. Instead of sitting on the goddamn brick smoking. But they know what they know. Going off. Go ahead. They know who they are.
How? Jeremiah 17:4. How they know who they are? How people call themselves black? You talk about color. They call themselves two continents, African American. How the fuck they know who they are?
They know who they are.
Right, man. Your ass on.
They know because of you. Go ahead, read that. This is talking about, it's going to go to Azareth, right? Yeah. Go ahead, keep going. And then hold that on there. Okay, this is,
wait, you never proved your point, though. Your point.
Okay, so let's go back. Do you know anything about the Louisiana person in Louisiana? Yeah, all that. Do you know who the Moors are? Do you know who the Moors are?
Of course.
So what color was the Moors?
We got a Moor walking up right now.
We know that.
Right. We got a Moor walking up right now.
These were humans who dwelled in this land.
Hold on.
Way before. Hey, the transatlantic slave trade.
Hold on.
We got person.
But look, we're not talking about the translation. Hold on. This ain't talking about the. Listen, that's not talking about the translated slave trade. That's not talking about the slave trade right here. Read the verse over.
They were here before the slave trade.
Listen, read verse 40 over, bro. Hold on. We not slave trade. Yes, they did trade over here, but listen. Read the verse over. Tell me what period of time this is, brother. Go ahead.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Shalmaneser, the king of Assyria.
What time period is this we're talking about right here? Shalmaneser.
We're not talking about the slave kingdom of the transatlantic.
Exactly. This is before that.
Yeah, right.
Thank you. Now keep going. That's the point. Look, what are you talking about? Slow down and listen, bro. Read the scripture.
God. So Shalmaneser, the king of Assyria, led away captives and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
Hold on, do you hear this? No. So what time period is this, right?
We're talking about Eon.
Exactly. Now keep going.
It says, but they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Right. So after the Syrian captivity, the northern kingdom was the first people to dwell in this land. All right. That's what's happening right here.
Okay.
You just said they wasn't.
No, I said the Moors were.
No, I said
the Moors. We're here.
The Moors.
You think about the slavery. You think about the early 1300s. What we read is ancient history. Right. This is going back further than 2,000 years ago. This is prophetic. Like this was spoken of, and this is what happened now. That's the understanding that I'm getting. That you're using this scripture to explain why you're here.
The Latin tribes came over here first. Right. You said Ephraim was on the slave ships. Ephraim came here before the slave ships. Ephraim, the northern kingdom, came over here after the Syrian captivity. We reading it right here.
Okay, so man, dwelled here before.
Bro, what? After this happened, before the Syrian captivity, all right, before the Syrian captivity happened, nobody lived in this land. This is the start of people living in this land. It started with the northern kingdom. So for you to say the Ephraimites got brought over here during the transatlantic slave trade is false.
The tribe of Joseph was brought over here.
No, they were already here. We're reading about it right now.
What you think the transatlantic slave was? They were bringing Negroes from the west coast of Africa, from grabbing the natives and taking the ass to Europe.
That's not even to say the West Coast of Africa, because the first Negro slaves,
The Moors,
the first Negro slaves came from Portugal, Spain. All right, that's the Moors, man. Those are not Ephraimites.
What was the tribe? So the Moors weren't.
The Moors are black.
That's what I was.
But you said the Moors are Ephraim.
I never.
You just combined two things.
I never said the Moors were Ephraim. See, now
you but what you said the first slaves that came over here
were black people were here before the transatlantic slave
But
trade.
they're Israelites.
So what you're reading is not applicable to the transatlantic slave trade.
We're not talking about the transatlantic slave trade right here.
A people dwelt in this. What's the topic? Okay, they said this is the
Bro.
They
all over the place. He's like a cartoon.
So basically, go ahead. This is verse 42. They might bear keep the statutes which they never kept in their own land, and they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river.
Right, so they came out the Euphrates. Well,
For the Most High did show signs to them. They don't steal the blood.
They came out the horn after. Yep, go ahead.
All right, so they were passed over. For through that country, there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half.
right. Go ahead.
And the same region is called Arsaret.
Right.
So, you got it.
The same place that you call Ophir is called Azareth too. That's the same land where nobody was, another land where nobody was dwelling. Now it said what? It took a year and a half to get there. So from the bottom of Euphrates, come around the Horn of Africa, come and hit the what you would call the islands today. The Americas. All right. It took a year and a half. Now that's this time period. This is when they start to dwell there. People was already coming over here before that.
Yep.
King Solomon. You got the scripture. King Solomon was already coming over here. Gold, things of that.
Yep.
Yeah, the Olmec. The Olmec.
Those are Canaanites that.
That was the Navy. That was the Navy that King Solomon paid to come get the shit.
Go ahead. I found it.
Yeah.
We got it, bro. Go ahead.
First Kings chapter 10, verse 21, it says, "And all King Solomon's drinking vessels were of gold, and all the vessels of the house of the forest Lebanon were of pure gold. None were of silver. It was nothing counted in the days of Solomon. For the king had at sea a navy of Tarshish with the navy of Hiram."
And that's where them Olmecs come from. Because them Olmec is the Hamites. All right, that's Hiram's men that went over to this land to get the resources for King Solomon. King Solomon hired Hamites to do the hard labor, man.
Okay, now let me say something.
Let the scripture finish. Let the scripture finish. Let the scripture finish.
What? In 3 years came the navy of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory, and eight, and peacock.
And that word peacock in the Hebrew, when you look it up, is Turkey, man.
Yeah, peacock.
Now it
It's the word
said
Turkey.
it took him, he got this every 3 years, right?
Every 3 years.
So what we read in here said it took him a year and a half. So how long does it take you to get back? Another year and a half.
About 3 years.
There you go. Now we done read it out of that, and then went further into history in the king. So we already knew about this land, but back when we was in our kingdom, we didn't stay over here. We just got the resources from us.
Right.
Then the northern kingdom, after Assyria, they said, hey, we're going to keep these laws in another land that no man signed up as well.
Okay,
That's before the wars and all.
Okay, now, hey, bro, now let's deal with that. You do got to break it down. I just want to have...
That was
back and forth. I know they said there was right.
Israel, who are in Islam, and they are in other religions, and other that's why we teach. Because hey, we're giving away to these idols, man. Hey, give me Isaiah the first chapter real quick. And I know you deal with the Torah, but the prophets deal with the law of Moses. All right, Isaiah the first chapter.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 1.
Start at 1.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Isaiah the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem the
Right,
day.
so that's both kingdoms. Judah, southern kingdom, Israel, northern kingdom. All right?
In the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, Hezekiah, king of Judah, hear, O heaven, give ear, O earth, for Yahweh has spoken. I had nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knows his owner, the ass his master's crib, but Israel does not know, my people does not consider.
Right, so these two regular dumbass animals, no, they know who they owner is. But my people, they don't know who they guy is. They don't. They don't consider it. These niggas out here, same thing, being homosexual. And they love to have you know. That's why the Lord set up to come out here. Somebody give me Isaiah 58:1. To do what? Work. And we got to read it. Because this is the work of the Lord. Now listen, it's one thing to know you're Israelite, but it's a whole different other thing to actually understand and actually talk about. A lot of niggas that know they're Israel, they still smoke, they still do other shit, and they be going on. Go ahead.
Isaiah 58:1. Fire loud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression.
Right. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet. What we're doing is to show my people their transgression. So we got to come out here and tell our people, listen, Jesus ain't the way. Islam ain't the way. All right? Keep the laws and statutes and commandments of our Lord. Even when you go into slavery, the history of the language, kumbaya and all that, that goes straight back to Hebrew. Even the, we're talking about the northern kingdom, the natives. Hey, they knew the name of the Lord. So obviously, those people were oppressed in the same land, which the brother started that scripture with, which is Babylon the Great, which is here. This is Oprah, this is Assyria, this is Babylon, New Egypt, all that. So all, when you ask the question, all the 12 tribes are here. And not only that, we're scattered across the whole world. James 1:1.
Hey, hold on. With that thought of it being Babylon, hey, bro, I want you to get a picture of cameraman.
Now, we got to teach.
No, I ain't trying to teach nothing. Look, I want him just to get an image of the hanging man, which is emblematic of Babylon. Babylon was a...
Are you talking about the hanging garden? Yeah, okay.
We always come out, we brought out the fact that we teach that, but the Spirit doesn't want that right now. At the point of coming to this, it's Ecclesiastes 5:1, be more ready to hear than the forbear. You know, I mean, it's like be more ready to hear than to get a sacrifice of food, which is talking out of your heart.
Say that again?
Now is the time to come to listen. You know,
what do you mean? I came with my flesh.
No, I mean, like, period. That's it.
No, he's not done. That's what he's. No, I was just telling him that.
I mean, well.
No, you finished. It said, yep, by loud, spare loud, he lift up thy voice like a trumpet and show my people their transgression in the house of Jacob and the line. Right. The house of Jacob my sin. So he come up to make a man.
Our job is to correct you. All right? Correction, doctrine. All right? This is for you to get to understand. All right? Matter of fact, when you come to the house of the Lord, this is the house of the Lord right now, you got to get your ear and keep silent. You got to be ready to hear. All right? Because everybody thinks they know something. Hey, opinion is like an asshole. Everybody got one.
Right. But I don't have no opinions. Go ahead. I got Ecclesiastes 5:1. Keep thy foot.
Hold on, you said you got facts. Brother, you said 7 minutes ago, you said our people know who they are. Then just 3 minutes ago, you said they don't know who they are.
I said they know what they are. I said they know who they are, but they're in other religions. They know who they are.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Hebrews chapter 8, verse 11. It says, and they shall not teach every man his neighbor, every man his brother, saying, know the Lord for all to know, from the least to the greatest. Right? We ain't there yet. That's the kingdom. That's why the Lord sent out his servants. Hey, get that. He sent them out rising up early. Do not disavow, you know. Same reason why he sent John the Baptist. Same reason why he sent his only begotten son, Yahushua, to lead and guide his people to be the light of the Gentiles. Jeremiah 17 verse 4 it says, and thou even thyself shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave you. Right? Thou shalt discontinue from thy heritage, your land, your language, your nationality. We all 12 tribes discontinued from that, which in turn made us all Gentiles. Even the Moors. Right. They started going up. Constantine going up. Right. Hey, right. Esau got our northern kingdom brothers thinking they coming from Esau got our northern kingdom brothers and they come from fucking Chinese motherfuckers, man. They tell them that they came across the Bering Strait and that's how they got here. That's bullshit, man. Then you got our people right now, the biggest craze in the so-called Negro community is African spiritualism. A lot of people think they fucking Hamites and gooks, man. They think they're Africans and gooks. That's why we out here rising early. Said I got that preacher. It's Jeremiah 44:4. How did I tell you all my servants and prophets rising early and sitting them saying, oh, do not the abominable things that I hate, but they hearken not, nor claim their ear to serve their wickedness, to burn no incense unto other gods. So they don't know, man. If you serve other gods, you're a Gentile anyway. That's Romans the 12th chapter. The first verse. You know you were Gentiles carried away with these dumb idols. To be an Israelite is to know you who you are and to know Yahweh. Because Israel is Yasharallah. He Prince of Power, man. You got something up there?
Oh, no, I don't go back to Jeremiah 35:15. I sent also unto you all my servants and prophets rising up early and sending them saying, return ye now every man from his evil way.
Right, so the Lord set up his prophets to tell his people, return ye now from your evil way.
Stop that. You want to sit on there?
No, I'm just on with you, bro. No, he was saying that anybody from Israel, it's like
right, but what I'm saying was, hold on, let me explain that because that's circumcision. Let me explain.
not like me circumcised with your heart before you.
Look, what I mean by that is how y'all take the word out. Say a Caucasian walk past you and they hear it, right? They can become an Israelite.
No, you got to be born an Israelite, brother. It's about bloodline.
No, that's partial.
No, get Romans 9.
So how did all the information break apart?
You said what?
How did all the information break apart? How was it gathered? How was it spread it out?
What are you asking? What do you mean how was it broken?
I'm asking you what I'm asking.
I'm asking you expound.
You have to interpret from the details that I'm giving. Based off of what we already have expounded from stolen legacy, Eurocentric information. You have anybody ever concretely based off of some structure? Because if you haven't came out and went around, how can you say who you are? You can't get Amos 3 and 7.
Amos 3 and 7.
Amos 3 and 7. Surely the Most High will do nothing, but He reveals His secrets unto His servants and prophets.
Right. And so we got the information because the Lord gave it to us. His servants and prophets got the info.
And the history proves it. Right? You know, even when you go to the Dark Ages, when the Renaissance came across, they destroyed all records. You do know that, right?
I'm not debating that.
So
that's what
it's the Spirit of the Lord, like the brother just read the scripture, the Lord is giving us to understand it.
I'm not falling off the rock.
So,
I'm agreeing.
Because even the question, he said, even if a Caucasian walked past, he could be an Israelite. First of all,
he said he's becoming an
Israelite. Oh, no, you got to be born an Israelite. Now, you can look like a so-called white man and be an Israelite. It's about the blood, like Numbers talks about.
I never debated the blood. Right, they do. But they can taste what you get.
That's not scripture.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, Deuteronomy 23:1. I'm starting with 2. It says, a bastard should not enter into the congregation of your house, even to his 10th generation, should not enter the congregation of your house. The bastard is Esau, man. He's a heathen. All right, what Esau into? All right, what's that? The bastard in Ashdod?
Right.
Yeah, right. The bastard in Ashdod. All right, 3. Bastard means he's not wanted, man. Because Yahweh, he hates Esau. That's in Romans 9 and 13, and Malachi 1 and 3. All right.
Hey, it said he should not enter the congregation to the 3rd generation.
Yep.
Esau can never get in.
It says right here, 3.
That's why they call it Jew.
Just listen.
They not
That's
they still not in though.
Still not in.
Still not heritage.
Right.
They still about to get destroyed. And you know what? Them claiming to be Jews, all right, them claiming to be Jews is actually fulfillment of Genesis 36 chapter. They took our land and said, and pointed to themselves.
Yeah.
But because that's the Lord's going to destroy them.
Right.
That's why World War III, all right, the Vatican Host that is so-called Middle East, that land is about to get purified via thermonuclear destruction and fire from the chariots of the Most High.
All right, verse 3. Deuteronomy 23, verse 3. Ammonite, so-called Japanese, or Moabite, so-called Chinese, Vietnamese, shall not enter into the congregation of house, even to the 10th generation, shall they not enter to the congregation of Yahweh forever. All right? So they count, nobody can come into being an Israelite. No.
God,
Right.
it's just the strangers should no more pass through these.
Done.
They ain't gonna be part of this, man. They gonna be slaves.
They already
They about to be
terrorized.
slaves to the kingdom.
FYI,
So where y'all getting this information from? Where's the scriptures?
Hey, y'all think stuff ain't go down like that? Y'all think somebody ain't strip, kill, and do all that? Because since we do,
Well, I mean, we got
y'all
stripped
think
and we got killed.
y'all think that word was just saying that it means Chinese? They had to put it in the paper. They had to print it first.
They not the Chinese
God,
though. They
God
not-
can make that.
That's not Chinese.
That's a revelation. God can make that.
That's not Chinese.
And it's also in Genesis. They Moab.
Yeah.
One of the brothers got a letter.
God.
One of the brothers got a letter from the Chinese. And
He said, go to the Chinese are into Moabite. China is Moab, brother.
Right, David admitted it exists.
And they're also God.
No. For one, the original God was Japhite. The original was Japhite. That's the Hawaiians, your New Zealanders. But then Esau took over their land. So you read Revelation, it says Gog and Magog is talking about the Edomites. Because what happened is that when you read Revelation 21, it says they came out, it says the devil came out again to deceive the nation. Gog and Magog, talking about the Caucasus Mountains. The Caucasus Mountains in, exactly, but the Caucasus Mountains in Gog and Magog. That's the Edomites. That's the devil that came to deceive the people. So modern Gog and Magog talking about the so-called white man. Original Gog and Magog is Revelation, Gog and Magog talking about the Edomites, so-called white people, self-proclaimed white, they're really red. That ain't talking about no Chinese.
Somebody get that Amos 3:1.
Amos 3:1. Hear this word that the Lord has. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, "You only have I known of all the families of the earth."
So the Most High said, you only have I known all the families of the earth. Right? Can't no Caucasian just get in this. Can't no Chinaman just say, I want to be Israelite. No, that doesn't happen. Like, okay, if he was my son and this white boy come across, I'm going to give him the inheritance too. Hell no, when I pass away, you going to get my inheritance. Not no regular nigga that's outside the family. It's OTS. Only the family.
That's what you say.
I got this.
No, that's what that's what
But the possibility of it is open.
Go ahead.
CJ Cole, you too deep for your own self.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 25. This is Jeremiah talking. This is what he says. Jeremiah 10:25. Pour out thy fury upon the heathen that know thee not. Why they don't know the Most High? They won't give the law, statutes, and commandments. All right? And upon the families that call not on thy name, for they had given place to fire him, they consumed him, and made his habitation desolate.
Right. Now, baby, check this out. This so-called Caucasian, homeless, cash earners, rented out wives, all this bullshit. You think the world gonna let this nigga into the family?
No,
That's not how
What is it? Read it again.
Right, that's why he asked
What
you.
do I mean?
That's why we asked you to expound upon it.
I mean exactly that they can hear the information.
Well, hey, Kenny
They
Single
can
35.
go read.
We out here. Hey, Kenny Single 35.
That's what I mean. Now they say that was Israel and Israelites, but they can claim.
Well, they already claimed it.
That's what I was
They
saying.
already claimed it. They might
That's
be
what I was
claiming
saying.
it. Hey, get Micah 2-1.
My
Let's get
first-
Micah 2-1 real
My
quick.
first point before y'all go
I got the mic.
is that Israelites are scattered.
Facts.
That's what my point was. How y'all said we all became Gentiles, I mean in the same way. So if you leave something, an outsider can take.
Well, they took
I never said that they was original. Okay.
Get Micah 2-1. Man, the part here.
Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it was in the power of their hand. And they covet fields, take them by violence, in houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage.
There you go. So they beat us, stole us, robbed us, took our heritage as well. They got to do it. The man's all over the place. He said we prophesied out here. They can hear it. They get cut and switch. There's a full life like a cartwheel all over the place. 1 minute Israel know who they are, people know. Next minute they don't know. Ooh, shit, clean.
Plain red?
Yes.
Shit.
I try to be the. Hey, we in that part. hey, I try to. Deal with them there, but they don't want to listen, man. They want to come up their own. They don't want to listen. They want to come up their own shit, man.
Yeah.
No, they
Don't work like that.
come teach us.
Right.
That's the point, man.
Right. They been watching Dr. Umar Johnson.
Right.
Thought they had some.
Hey, it's the facts. Where's your facts? Did you report through this information?
Exactly. The thing is, they went on Google, because one of the things they found on Google, and through the prophets, those were help known to be facts. It's like you can Google the name.
Somebody really, you read somebody written. Hey, Joe talked about old out that words are written and now in the book. Many was in the Lord gave the word. Many was in that published. Right?
Yep.
Psalms. Hey,
Let's get the Psalms.
Yeah, come. The word purified 7 times. We know Esau trying to fuck with our shit.
Hey, but this thing, they don't have faith. So they boil down. We say you think it was just so holy. This is their problem. They don't think that the Lord can preserve His word through all the shit Esau did to us.
He preserved us.
Well, the Lord's so wrong. See, this is what the Lord did. For one, the Lord can preserve it in its natural state, and then allow it to catch that all. But He's so wrong. He let Esau think he did enough to change it up. They put their doctrine out there. For one, niggas put their doctrine there. All right, niggas, and Esau took it like, well, this is enough. It changed enough. They didn't expect us to get the truth back, man. But guess what? Now we got it.
Even the magistrates, the Hebrew destruction, the Bible destruction proof, all that. It didn't work.
Yeah, they put all these weird doctrines out. It didn't change nothing.
So he looked up what could make it fall off, man. And what kept on happening? It was these damn idols.
Every level.
You know what?
They can't get it.
Let they snap be made a tale just for the culture, because even Esau used the Bible to make their table of snaps. All right? That's why he used the Bible to push these false doctrines. That's how he controls the people, man. And it say let the book be it actually is supposed to be a Genesis step. That's what Esau used. The Lord is in control. He made them use his book to make niggas go off.
And that's why,
Isaiah 8.
the Lord control anything. That's why you had Esau to mistranslate some scriptures of the Bible. So that they start that some niggas can't get it, man.
Yep.
So they could be like, man, fuck King James. He's a motherfucking a cave beast, and he wrote the Bible and this and that. You saw the contradictions and all that. And the Lord made them mistranslate some scriptures, and you niggas would trip up.
There's no contradiction in there.
Ain't no contradiction in the
You
Bible.
don't understand it. That's right. Whatever contradiction you find, hey, we give you the understanding to the spirit, man.
That's right,
No boast of us, man. It's all praise God by Shem Yahweh Shai. All right? It's all the spirit. The hell yeah.
With Solomon 9 and 16, and hardly do we guess aright at things that are on earth, and with labor do we find the things that are before us, but the things that are in heaven who have searched out. All right? So like the scripture said, man, with labor do we find the things that are before us. All right? And the Spirit guides us to understand what's true and what's not. The apostles and the elders on down.
That's right. Hey, you think this should be confronting? This is the only way to life. It mentions that. So the bottom line, what it mentions in Ecclesiastes, bottom line is just do what the Lord said. And that's really it. The Lord even set up prophets to help guide you through the things that you read. Because guess what? You can read something. The Lord hasn't given you a revelation. One person the Lord gave certain revelations to, he was dealing with extremely heavy, and they were always in line with the doctrine. You know, even in this time, man, some brothers the Lord has dealt with before they made it to us, and everything was in line. And they just had the same spirit and just fucking humbled down, man. They had a meek spirit. That's what the Lord is searching for, man. You don't need somebody to say that they got it, say that they saved, say that they come teach us. Because how should I say themselves? I came not to you minister unto, but to minister. So guess what? The men that has been laying the same foundation down are the ministers of the Lord, men in service. He came in to serve and give you the right way to salvation, as well as ourselves.
And your house had talk.
Not trying to fucking listen to nobody else.
Your house had talk with authority, man.
So that's the whole point. You don't come up here to try to, hey, what he say? I'm here to minister, not to be ministered to, right? We're here to do the service of the Lord. Then we gave him the Ecclesiastes, keep thy foot when you enter into the Lord's house. But see, you can't teach a fool. Wisdom is too hot for you. You can walk past. Well, yeah, you good. You walk. All right. Go ahead. You have some more?
No, that's it. No,
You got some more? What you was holding on to?
Wisdom Psalm 9.
All right, get that Romans 9 again, so we can hit that. Gentiles ain't, hey, the only Gentiles that's going to get this is Israelites.
That's right.
Man, you know how to come and teach on Saturday,
Right.
man. Hey, this is the highlight of my life. We're going to video Saturday, Jason. This is what we here for, man.
Teach our people who they is.
Hey,
Right.
The Lord said He's looking for a jealous nation, man. Ain't just been on fire to some of this gospel, man. Nothing better, bro. I'm turning. I'm rejuvenated.
Man, Paul said, I am very, bro, I'm ready for those, roughly paraphrasing, those that are only afraid of the gospel, man. He's ready to get tactical, man. You should be ready to
You
get
can walk
down
through
to
the world,
bread.
you're going to get your clothes all dirty.
Now you got dust on your toes.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 9:16. And hardly do we get to write at things that are upon earth, and with labor do we find the things that are before us. But the things that are in heaven who have searched out, and thy counsel who have known.
Right, this is the counsel of the Lord, man. This is that bread from heaven. This is Yahushua. This is that spirit that came down from the heavens. The Lord let it drop. It's the dew. And now it's just flooding. And this is a clear example of what to be like, man. This is a clear example of how the Lord wants us to be led.
Go ahead. Hold up.
And thy counsel who have known, except thou give wisdom and send thy Holy Spirit.
That's how we got to do
Right.
right.
We ain't got to dissect it, go around, separate the words, and bring it back together.
Right.
Right.
Okay, this one was Sirach chapter. Sirach chapter 3, verse 18. Greater thou art, more humble thyself. Thou shalt find favor before your house. You gotta be humble, man. All right, verse 19. Many are in high place and of renown, but mystery revealed unto the meek. All right, you got all these scholars, man. You got all these pastors, deacons,
Self-proclaimed scholars like those.
all these rabbis, man. They came out our camp since 2008. They got confounded, man. It got so bad that
But you can't gainsay.
it got so bad that the mood like the listeners told they too like, no, don't go there. Stop going down.
I went there to consider.
Stop going down there, man. But the meek is gonna go get it, man.
Right.
The meek, the elect, man.
But see, guys like that are going to get judged. And you know you're Israel, and that Isaiah 1 is what we're talking about. You putting on all these other, I'm Israel, but I got a little bit of this, I got a little bit of that. And then your doctrine is what makes you whack, man.
Right.
Really surprised, man, because it can't be proven. Even though we bring it out without the fact that it's true, we bring it out facts. If we bring it out true facts, this is Jeremiah 3, verse 15. It says, and I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding, which is what we came out in, man. Because now, like the brother said, the Lord, hey, just because you see it now hiring on the door, which is what the Lord is doing. He's hiring prophets. Doesn't mean the Lord is hiring anybody. First step, and he'll fire the fuck out your ass first day. You didn't even fucking start. You can never get hired here again. The Lord is pulling out. You gotta have meekness, and you have to be willing to be reproved and want to learn. And you have to prove it according to the doctrine, which we have disproved these guys and other guys.
But that's right there, like the scripture says, prove all things and hold fast to that which is good.
And they was cut. They switched their words up. They said y'all cut up.
Y'all right. Y'all right. Y'all cutting up. Yeah, we know it. But then they'll go back and, hey, that's the form, man. Like the brother said, he cartwheel.
What does Sirach say? Sirach say what? It say,
I'm just wondering, where's y'all microphone?
we don't need a microphone. What scripture say we need a microphone?
Get out there, 5081.
It's not about what the
It's exactly about the scripture say.
Nah, I'm just saying, bro. Where's the microphone, bro? Nobody can hear you right now.
Go ahead.
Somebody get Isaiah 8. But I'm gonna get this.
Hey, get that proof, yeah.
Isaiah 50:81. It says, "Cry aloud,
You're right.
cry aloud, spare not,
I just did.
lift up thy voice like a trumpet,
Enjoy my destruction.
and show my people their transgression, and show my people their transgression, in the house of Jacob their sin." So that's the same reason why the brother said what he said, man. Because he said he's supposed to show you where you're going to fuck off at. The brother literally said that before you began to talk. We're showing you. You don't need a path of destruction. We're trying to tell you this. First thing is to not come up in his dad. It's just fuck up and listen. You don't know it. But it's still talking right now. That's cool.
Nobody can fucking hear you.
The camera can hear it just fine.
Bro.
Read that again.
You can hear exactly what we're saying, right? I can't, bro.
Because it wouldn't matter when we teaching our goddamn self. Isaiah 50:81, it says, "Cry loud," in which we actually are.
Are you listening? Read
Well,
it again.
he can't hear us. That's why he ain't listening. That was the whole point.
So you want me to come up and
Because it didn't be just for your ass.
Listen, I can't. Hold on, I'm going to show you why we don't need no microphone. Listen. Say it out. Say it again, bro.
It says, "Cry aloud," Isaiah 50:81. Cry aloud, spare not.
Don't you hear that echo? Go ahead.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, in the house of Jacob their sin.
So the Lord told us to speak loudly, all right, put some bass in your voice, so my people can hear their transgression. That's what we're doing. We don't need no microphone for that.
At all. I got a precept for you. Here's Ecclesiastes 9:17. The words of wise men are heard in quiet more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. All right, you need me to read that again for you, I will. The words of wise men are heard in quiet more than the cry of him that ruleth among fools. We don't need a microphone. We out here, we probably fast to the wind. Whoever's meant to hear it, they're going to hear it. Whoever's not going to hear it, they're not going to hear it. We speak wisdom to them out of purpose.
Whether they hear or forget.
That's right.
Third chapter, man. So that's what we set up to do, to teach our people what's right and what's wrong. And it's up to them if they're going to listen or not.
No, I hear it.
Go ahead. My bad.
No, you good, bro.
That's all good. My distraction.
Oh, that was it.
Now say it.
Down
Right.
says. What? No. Well, you said it down says. How much you say? You said it. Go ahead.
He said, "Go tell the people, hear you indeed, but understand not truth. See ye indeed, or perceive not. Make the heart of people faint, make their ears heavy, shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes."
Right, at least they see. So, hey, hopefully you get it. But, hey, the Lord, hey, shut a lot of these people's eyes and ears.
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
Hear with ears, hear with their ears, and understand their heart convert and be healed.
So, hey, hopefully they can convert and be healed. If if the Lord set them up to be that way. But if not, hey, enjoy your destruction.
That's a text example of the Lord.
He ran into the prophets with him.
That's what the third verse. All right, which and he may hear, he may hear. If the man's gonna get it, he's gonna get it. It's not all right. You're not dragging and crying and putting on your pants so you get it. No, man, it don't work like that. We're not forcing anything. All right, he just bring that to you, get it, just bring that to you.
That Curly Moe and what was the third fucking fool?
Oh, that's
Larry. Oh, shit.
He ain't chef, but he's
You gotta have fun with it, man. Hey, that's why we love to come out and do what we do. At the end of the day, this is true judgment. And we're going off the word of the Lord. What's going on?
One out.
That's it.
Oh.
That's it.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
one
keep
out.
going.
What was the down?
I love mine.
Where your battery at? 2?
Oh, yours, Ella.
2. It's
Mine,
cool. I just.
I mean, where your battery back?
Fucking with this house.
Don't forget again, stuff that might get on you.
You gonna put. Go ahead, continue. When that comes, we're just gonna cut to my Okay. All right, we're about to be on. Not really. I mean, I got you. Oh well.
Well, that's true too. Well, you got a 12. That's better.
Con. All right. Well, if anybody's watching, we're about to go live on GMS Shapaya. All right, you can cut it off.
All right, don't cut. Yeah, you cut it. GMS